Today we're going to have a battle of voice recognition home assistants. It's a black and white battle of Amazon versus Google. So in this corner we have, weighing in at $180, the well-established Amazon Echo. Been shipping for about a year and a half. Here's his newer little brother, the Amazon Dot, weighing in at about $50. And here is the new contender from Google, the Home Assistant, weighing in at $130. If you add those two up, price-wise, they equal that guy. So he's been around a lot longer, so he supports a lot more devices natively. This one supports just the Nest and SmartThings Hub, maybe a couple others. But those things it supports very well. We can demo the SmartThings interface with something like, "Okay, Google, turn on the chandelier light."
You got it. Turning the chandelier light on.
And, that went on faster than I can show you. You can say either okay or hey. For example, "Hey Google, turn off the chandelier light."
Okay, turning the chandelier light off.
So those are the same commands we can do with Alexa. "Alexa, turn the chandelier light on." "Alexa, turn on the chandelier light."
Okay.
Now you notice that there's a new trick with Alexa, that when you have multiple devices, it's smart enough now, as of a few months ago, that only one of them responds. Google, I only have one Home Assistant, but I can demo that they think they're smart in that way too, because the same commands can be listened to by your Google phone, your Android phone. So for example, if I say, "Okay Google, what time is it?"
The time is 1:16 p.m.
You can see both devices recognize the command, but only the one of them answered. If I say, instead of "Okay Google," if I say "Hey," that one will only be recognized by the new guy.
Okay.
"Hey Google, what time is it?"
The time is 1:16 p.m.
And if I say, "Okay Google, what is the temperature?"
The temperature in Vestavia Hills is 77 degrees Fahrenheit.
So both of them are good in that regard. Scatter them all around your house and the only one will respond. So that's all good. So there is one powerful feature that the Home Assistant does support today. That's the cloud-based service, If This Then That. So that allows you to control practically anything via voice commands. And unlike what we demoed with the Alexa and their cloud services in previous videos, this one's really easy to set up. They have If This Then That has new voice, new assistant, new interface. Then the one for Home Assistant's pretty easy to set up. It does have a bug though that I got to warn you about. If you get a command wrong and you try to change it, it doesn't. The way it currently stands is it doesn't work. It remembers the old command or old options. So, but if you get it right the first time, you're good. So I set up a command that says if I ask Home to do this or ask Home to do that, it'll take that command and pass it over to my Linux home automation server and do pretty much anything we want in the house. So for example, I'm going to ask it to read a goofy deep thought by saying, "Hey Google, ask Home to read a deep thought."
Okay.
So that command just went over to that box. That box is going to...
A day without sunshine is like night.
And echoed on the display there. So that allows us to do pretty much anything we can't do with the SmartThings interface. So I'm no audiophile expert, and with this cheap camera microphone, I doubt you'll be able to tell much of a difference, but we'll do a quick music demo. "Alexa, play music by Mozart." I think the speakers in both
Shuffling
systems
songs
are
by Evelyn DeBoer and Wolfgang Amadeus
comparable.
Mozart.
You have the volume control on this guy. Is there a ring at the top? That's pretty loud. "Alexa, stop. Hey Google, play music by Mozart." And here you have the volume control.
Sure, here's Wolfgang.
With the
Google
touch
Play Music.
interface ring similar. So in this house in particular, the volume's loud enough that we can get anywhere within a room or two and still sound pretty well, comparable to the Sonos system. Hey Google, stop. So the key differentiator between the two systems is the fact that Google has a much stronger search than Alexa. Amazon is not your Google search. So the advantages when it comes to asking questions or querying the world, the internet, whatever. I think Alexa controls things better, but the Google, not surprisingly, can answer questions better. For example, I just happen to have some tree sap here that I've gotten collected, and I'm curious as to how long it'll take that to turn into amber. So let's try. Hey Google, how long does it take tree sap to turn into amber?
According to the virtual Petrified Wood Museum, under the right conditions, resins polymerize and harden with age, turning into copal. After several million years, copal matures into amber. Tree resin breaks down when exposed to drying and oxidation
Probably
within
gonna
just a
try
few
to find
thousand
a
years.
shortcut for that. Whereas Alexa would. Hey Alexa, how long does it take tree sap to turn into resin, amber? She's not gonna know. So that's the key advantage of the Google Home Assistant is it's got the Google search engine and a much more powerful knowledge base. So let's try some accuracy tests. We'll go to different rooms of the house and we'll see if it can recognize commands from a distance. Alexa versus Google. So I'm going to go over here in the corner and we'll say, hey Google, ask Home to unlock the front door.
Okay.
Unlock the front
That
door.
worked. Alexa, ask House to unlock the front door.
Unlock the front door.
Well, those worked. Try something more challenging. Go over here into a bedroom, which is quite some distance away. Hey Google, what time is it?
The time is 2:21 p.m.
Nice. Alexa, what time is it? Fail. So I think what I've noticed is that Home Assistant, Google's Home Assistant has 2 microphones. They have quite a bit of range on them. Alexa has 7. I think they can do better in a noisy environment, but not so much for range. Now, there's a cool thing here I can show you where on both of them, you can actually play back the audio that was recorded and you can get a feel for what the sound quality was like. So both services provide a history of what you said, and along with that, they have recordings of... Alexa, ask House to unlock the front door. That's the recording we did from the corner of the living room. Here's the equivalent for Google Home. Hey Google, ask Home to unlock the front door. Here's what we heard way over in the bedroom. Hey Google, what time is it? So it wasn't very loud, but it was loud enough for it to figure it out. So I have multiple Amazon dots scattered around the house, and I put one up way up there in the treehouse. And I'm going to show you that now. Even though it's not as sensitive as the Google, it's still sensitive enough to cover this backyard. So let me show you. Alexa, what is the temperature?
In Birmingham, there's a freeze warning in effect Sunday, November 20th, 9 p.m. to Monday, November 21st, a.m. Current weather is 57 degrees with clear skies and sun. Today's forecast calls for more of the same, a high of 57 degrees and a low of 28 degrees.
So we call that our treehouse, and I have up there another dot. Alexa, what time is it?
3 p.m.
So one of the advantages the Alexa has is it has, in addition to the visual feedback, it has an optional auditory feedback. This little beep here. Alexa, when will the sun set?
Sunset is at 4:42 p.m.
We have a waterproof Bluetooth speaker. Doesn't have to be waterproof here, because the Alexa certainly isn't waterproof. And that's a Raspberry Pi with the home automation speaker I showed in previous episodes that allows the house to speak to us. So that auditory feedback is useful when you can't see the dot. Alexa, turn on the fountain.
I'm not quite sure how to help you with
Ah, so, when you get wind in the trees, or if you're not very close to the Alexa, it will not hear you in the forest at all. I have a solution to that problem. Hidden under here, kind of James Bond style, those little magnets are concealing the secret weapon, upside down secret weapon. This is the Amazon optional Amazon remote for $30. You can buy this and pair one of them to any one Amazon Echo or Dot, and even if you're not in range, you can talk to it. Turn on the fountain. She said okay. You probably can't see it. Down there the fountain on the deck just went on. So it is a beautiful fall day here in Alabama. Finally getting some color in these trees. Almost Thanksgiving. Unusual. So the range on this guy is amazing. Let's try and get out. I'll show you. Oh, you can't hear it, but it's doing something. Hang on a second, I'll show you go even further. Play music by Beethoven.
Shuffling songs with Ludwig van Beethoven.
We have Beethoven in the forest from this far away. But I'm not done yet. Hang on. Turn on the front lights. There's a little guard dog up there. He hasn't jumped yet, fortunately. And the front lights are on. I'm not done yet. Turn off the front lights. And they just went off. I'll show you. Turn the front lights on. So, it's amazing. From here, way up there. Okay, pros and cons. Debate time. Amazon Alexa, Google Home Assistant. Which is better? So, Google Home Assistant. Big advantage. It knows the answers to the universe. Anywhere from an earshot, you can talk to it and ask it questions. You can settle those dinner time debates without getting up from the kitchen table or pulling your cell phone out. That's a huge advantage, and that's only going to get better as time goes on. Google's got a big push for that assistant knowledge base. Advantages of the Echo, the Amazon Alexa, are more numerous. It has a cheaper option. It's got the Dot at $50 versus $130 for Google. You have your optional $30 remote, which is great. If you're not within earshot, you can secret those away and pull them out when needed. It has better audio and visual feedback. You've got that optional beep so you can hear when it heard you. And I like the Cylon ring on the top. You can see it from further away, and you can, it's not angled like the Google one. The Google one, you can't tell if it heard you unless you're standing in front of it. The programmability today goes to the Amazon because the SDK for Google isn't out yet. Although it's supposed to come out in December. Maybe when it comes out, that'll have an advantage. Maybe it'll be easier. Maybe. The Amazon one's kind of tricky to use at the moment. Finally, the trigger phrase. They both have a couple of options, not many, but I like Alexa better. It sounds like you're talking to a friend, or at least a housemate. Whereas Google is, especially OK Google, doesn't sound so well. Hey Google's better, more personal, but still kind of like you're talking to a corporation. It's a good corporation, but still. I think that's it for pros and cons. I think we'll stick with just one home assistant now and scatter dots around the house. I have 4 of them now, I think, including the one in tree house. And but we'll see what the future brings. Changes, we'll come back here and we'll let you know later.